Medusa comes again. Now, this is the second time we've seen Medusa tonight. Medusa comes again. The story of Medusa is she was in the temples. She worked in the temples and she was beautiful, and it incited jealousy from somebody else, resulted in somebody coming and actually taking advantage of her in a very grapey kind of a way. Yeah, not good. It's why she was so pissed at men and hated them, and it's why she totally had the snakes that would turn them into stone. This is her story. This is part of what's gone on. There's somebody where jealousy was a huge thing. It says jealousy leads to downfall, and there was a huge amount of beauty. You were considered as like the big desirable. People were going batshit, losing their minds. There was beauty in here. I wouldn't be surprised if this was in times that there was Greek going on. There's a very Euro feeling. Independently beautiful and on your own. Now, I don't know what happened to your parents, but leveraging beauty to your advantage was something that was your strong suit. You didn't have a problem with it. You weren't bound by society's rules necessarily either. You were kind of a little bit of a fiery, on fire type of person. You didn't mind the attention. You didn't mind, people would say, using your womanly wiles. You wouldn't mind the art of seduction if it got you what you wanted. You didn't have a problem with that. But it wasn't like you just knew how to use your beauty to your advantage. That was just fine. There was always somebody buying for you. Was there insecurity that followed that, or did you leave it behind? Because there comes a point where this is no longer something that concerns you. It's like you have your fill of all this attention and blah, 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 and you're just like bored. There's boredom, there's gaming, there's social climbing. You were ambitious in where your station was and where you wanted to be. You wanted more protection. You carved something out for yourself very much. I'm getting foreign travel and that you went somewhere different. This is where you leave somewhere and then you go to something that's more mountain and water lands for sure. And you go to something a little bit different. I'm getting like almost like maybe you were married off to somebody that's like Prince of Spain type of energy. You're married off to somebody that's got nobility from a different country, different house, that kind of energy. Now, I don't know if you were actually married off. That's the energy I'm getting, but I don't think you were married off by anybody. I think you learned how to social climb and get yourself positioned well. Grace of Monaco type. Something like that. I don't know what that's about. It's got this feeling that you were considered glitz and glam. Grace of Monaco. Not that you were her, no. But you had this glitz and glam that people were drawn to you big time, and you leveraged shit well. But then you left that. You were sick of that. Your beauty wouldn't hold forever. You knew that you would age. You didn't mind aging. You were longing for something else more established, something more secure, something where you could rest and not always have everybody. It's like your looks were striking and you drew enough attention that you got sick of being observed. It's almost like you would be a celebrity that doesn't want to be celebrity anymore, that kind of thing. It was an intense one. There's an intense observance of you. This and this is the same person. Wow. Okay, so there's a balance and recognition. There's a skill and a grace in what you're doing. It's like whatever you're doing, it's coming up with batons and wands and batons and wands. It's the way you move. I think you were a dancer. And you were noticed, and this is how it went. But you were shrewd. Really shrewd. Interesting. All right, I need another deck. I don't know why we're going here. I've never gone here for past life. We're going to the circus deck. Very much. I'm getting Soleil, Cirque du Soleil, sun, and all of this wands and dance and this attention and this stuff that everybody noticed. And what are you doing here? I think somebody saw much deeper beneath the surface. I think this guy, wherever the hell he went, this guy and this guy, saw below the surface for the first time ever. This person saw below the surface, behind the mask, below the costume. And that's what worked. That's what balanced. That's what matched. Yeah. I think he broke you free of whatever this was, this constant barrage and being under the microscope. I think he broke you free, and I think that's why you guys traveled further away or were further away. That was part of it. It's almost like a fairy godmother came and stepped in and gifted this to you. Like there was heartbreaks, 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 heartbreaks. Almost to the point the village probably would have chased you down. Like all the women in the village would have been jealous, mad, and chased you down if you hadn't gotten the fuck out of there. Huge jealousies and rivalries and the disloyalty of people would show up because of jealousy that was there. So you could walk in a room and break up a marriage if the marriage wasn't solid, and if somebody was observing you really, really well, then you'd walk in the room and the wife would probably assume something that wasn't so was happening, but it could lead to fighting and sparring and blah, blah, blah. You had to get out of there. Now this is interesting. You have this guy ready to take you, ready to take you, ready to take you, but hooded and conjuring this gears, conjuring this plan, hatching a plan to like spirit you away, so to speak. Hatching a plan. Perhaps creating and inventing a little more station than what he had. Even though it was station, it was more than what he had. You know, like, Heath Ledger in Knight's Tale, he pretends to be papered like he's a knight, but he's not. That kind of thing. He pretends to be papered. He pretends he's got more than he does. It's not that he was flat broke or anything. He did have some station. But he had to really come with guns blazing, so to speak, come full in order to take you away and for people to let that happen. Really, really trippy. Wow. He showed up with huge, huge power backing and skills, and I don't know what he had. He had some kind of command of power, for sure. He comes over here, he sees you, he sees you. He wasn't expecting to see you, and this is who he gets. And then look at this card. Oh my God, this says it all. That's how you were. You were definitely the one that was perhaps the most in charge of all the men in that place, in that town. And you needed to be broke free. And I think he was able to do that for you and get you out of there. And you were glad to go. There was a recognition, a very strong recognition of how powerful you were and what he'd need to do to get you out of there. Wow. And I don't think this was done quickly. There was pursuit. Pursuit over time. How long did it take him to do this? First meeting. It took him 3 years from the time he met you to be able to pull this off. We got the Three of Cups and then the big cup here, and then Here he comes, powerful, powerful, like the emperor, ready to take you away. You know, flexing, all flexing. Yeah, he had to have some serious flex and come in like papered and flexing in order for them to be like, oh yeah, well, and I'm sure many of the women around there would be like, yeah, get her gone, because there was definitely some rivalries and jealousies going on, and that's just too bad, but that's the way it was. That's what I got for you. Don't be afraid to own your beauty now. There's no reason for you to be afraid to own your beauty now or use that as an asset. I don't think you did it wrongly then. I think you got used to doing it then. I don't think you did it wrongly then. I don't think you were like, you know, Jezebel or Queen of Babylon or anything like that. No. But I think that you knew how to use it and it got sick of using it. And so now you want to be known for your brains, not your beauty. It's okay to be known for your beauty too. We get this idea we can not be smart and beautiful. Yes, you can, honey. Let the power of the beauty that you have here just exude, because there's no reason to tamp that down. It feels like you kind of had to do that a bit here after a while, and you don't have to do it now. That's what I got. Wow. Yeah. Superflex comes in there. That's hilarious. That's what I got. Wow.